The 6'4 Army's new and upcoming training cycle, the Hulk training cycle. This is 8 weeks in length and it will take us from October 6th through to November 30. We're looking to get strong. We're going to start this off nice and simple by running through our intentions, stimulus designs, and some gains or ideologies around what we've got in this training program, so then you can have a better understanding of what you're trying to achieve and just how you're going to react to the training stimuluses. So off the script, strength, the stimulus, heavy, crisp reps, some longer rest periods, so then we have actual recovery in place to have good repeatability across our sets. And our intention is we're just going to expose our central nervous system to high loads with perfect positions. Our gain, max strength, better bracing, and our bar paths along the way as well. We are adding in accommodating resistance deadlifts. They come periodically for us. This one, imagine standing on a band, pulling your deadlift, so it's assisting in load as the barbell gets moved. So we're looking for fast concentric motions and a smooth lockout, and we're matching the resistance to strength curve. Build speed off the floor and lock out strength. The gain here is the rate of force development, posterior chain improvement in the tension throughout that first pull, mid-pull kind of phase. And we use this more of a primer, high or high set usage, low reps with smaller rest periods. We are taking this, and this lifting block piece will not only just be in our competitors program, it will also be in our affiliate programming as well, with block snatch work, block clean work, and we're focusing on the 6-inch mark off the floor, so kind of mid first pull. If you're a person who can hang, snatch, or clean more than they can from the floor, or it's pretty relatively the same, it means that the first pull isn't quite what it should be for you, because naturally you should have more space to build momentum and a platform off of to create force development or rate of force development, higher usages of power by having that first pull. But if we're only getting our best lifts from that transition from first to second pull, it means that we're not quite in the right positions for these things. So the 6 inches off the floor over this 8-week period just gives us a chance to work on some technical mastery around the positional focuses, have intentions of quickly moving the knees back behind the barbell as the barbell travels vertically with the shin angle. And we have, cleaning up that start position, the hip knee sequencing, and building basically a stronger mid-pull throughout that lift. So I think it's something that's pretty cool. You'll do it either off weightlifting pads, or build up some plates from the floor. Progressive rep scheme lifting. So our stimulus here is we get heavier as the rep sets drop, steady tempos. I'll probably also add into this some supersetting as well. So we'll have some supersetting lower body, upper body movements in the same block window. Our intention is to accumulate quality volume across multiple intensities without really the decay of your form. Our gain, hypertrophy, strength, conditioning under rising load, and strength, endurance, or volume. Snatching clean pulls, but this time at high repetitions. Many years ago now, probably about 14 or 15 years ago, we were in touch with a German weightlifting coach, Walter Schultz, who had created what was called the LS pull method. So rep scheme started at 15, 13, just drop by 2s as the weights increased. You can do this for squats, you can do this for clean pulls, you can do it for basically anything that you want to really overload. Get some more consistency and movement patterns under that movement that needs more awareness around. So in terms of CrossFit, the clean or snatch pull isn't used at a high frequency. So this gives us good amount of usage there, but as the weights increase, and also the rep scheme is very, very big, so you have to be focused throughout the whole lifting sequence. You are going to develop that posterior chain, you're going to develop the upper back and hip endurance, bar path discipline and grip strength. So these are the things that you're going to have to focus on throughout. Positional weightlifting, we've kind of briefly touched on that, but that will also stem to the split jerk with our one of our sequencing on our split jerks, and this will be the pause dip split jerk, where we pause from that dip position, and we've kind of negated the elasticity stretch reflex out of the dip to drive portion. We're only in that dip, we hold, and we're focusing on leg drive, maximal drive through the floor only. So we're really propelling the barbell up off the shoulders, and to get some awareness around that, the intentionality of it. I guarantee it, unless you're being a smart aleck around it, you squat more than you strict press. So with the transfer of load from front rack position to overhead, we want to be able to use as much leg drive and assistance in that form as possible. If we connect that with great timing through the push on the bar with the upper body, you're going to have yourself an outstanding overhead position or transfer of load. Mixed modal work, it's always within any of our programming where we have combined stimuluses of weightlifting, gymnastics, monostructural work in conjunction with itself. This is usually done under intervals and or sets with rest periods broken in, and it's very atypical to CrossFit. You know, just mixing and gelling all of those formats of training together. They quite often work in conjunction with each other and not necessarily work against the intention of each one. But we're training interference management, breathing, forearms, posterior chain, whilst pacing. And we're learning mechanics through pacing and cadences in these sequencing too. We have a section of the week that's dedicated for dual monostructural work. In the triathlon world, the running and bike combo and training can be called brick work. So this is kind of like a play on that, where we might have not just running and biking, but running and rowing, biking and skiing, skiing and running. You've got different formats of all of those things, but look at an aerobic time frame window. Anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes is the time allowance on these pieces. We're building the engine, no skill bottlenecks, meaning that the inability to do a ring muscle up isn't going to hold you back. It's a low level of, I guess, warm up to entry into the workout. It's pretty easy to start and then get into it. So yeah, your dual monostructural work has a dedicated section in the timeline. Bardio. Some of you will be familiar with the term bardio, barbell cardio, barbell conditioning. On our Saturday, we have barbell or bardio focus pieces where you will be doing barbell only workouts, and that think of the workouts within CrossFit that are strictly barbells. You've got your Isabel, you've got Grace, you've got DT, you've got Macho Man. You know, there's so many variations of these workouts, and this is our intention, is to kind of marry the breath and barbell rhythm, improve your transitions, and then just get a higher set or higher usage on your reps within a set. And that comes down with confidence. These are probably the hardest workouts you'll do if you're an experienced CrossFitter. The ones that can really, really beat you up generally typically have a barbell in them, and or high usage on machine, like a high power output, which is a sprint effort in terms of the cardio output. Skill work. We have dedicated sessions, the handstand push-ups every single week, legless rope climbs every single week, ring muscle-ups every single week, handstand walks every single week. And then we have filtered through all of these things, toe to bars, bar muscle-ups, chest to bars, pull-ups, ring dips, muscular endurance in those movement patterns as well, vertical pressing planes, horizontal pressing planes. Because for some, the technical ability is a limitation in these movements. For others, the muscular endurance is the inability in some of these movements or limitations. And for others, it's just the movement itself. Now, on a day-to-day schedule outlook, on a Monday, block snatches, we're starting our week off right. We're going to superset that from our back squat plus upper body movement, following the block snatches rather. And then the Metcon on this day is going to be a strength and skill piece Metcon focus. We're not trying to burn the candle here. And the second session, you have the option to do aerobic endurance or hypertrophy endurance, so more musculature, but over a sustained period of time. Tuesdays, time squat cleans, volume repeated lifting. Think, off the top of my head, there's a session, one squat clean every 20 seconds for 10 minutes, 70%. That's a workout. Positional split jerks. So we talked about the pause dips and things like that. This is the day that that's going to be timed into the program. Much like Monday, a strength and skill focused Metcon, Second session, dedicated to legless rope climbs and mixed modal intervals. Wednesday, bodyweight gymnastics. So we're really still in that phase of honing our skills, whether that be toes to bar pattern or volume, whether that be muscular endurance on a wall walk, a strict handstand push-up followed by strict presses on barbells and things of the sort, or holding positions in static isolated positions. Our bodyweight gymnastics is how we start the day. Strength-orientated mech-on after that. Think sandbags, think odd objects, kettlebells, etc., heavy barbells, and then that's going to be followed up in the first session with the final strength piece. So keep your lungs intact, and this is develop that strength. Second session, you have skill, muscular endurance development. So very high rep usage on a low skill component with low rep usage on a high skill component, so we get that absolute overload progressive fatigue, but we kind of just hit the muscle contraction that we're looking for, the total count, to gain a higher rep count on our high skill movement, and we will follow that up with our dual monostructural work. Our Thursday sessions, or day 4 training, however you wish to frame it, is generally always the same through whatever programming. At some point you're going to need a rest day or a catch-up piece moment. So if you've missed something in the week and you really value that piece, this is the day to do it. You have an option to do the monostructural work that is provided. It would be 20 to 40 minutes, maybe sometimes 60 minutes in length, and or swim sessions. So you've got a bunch of options there, but basically we're looking for a little bit of decompression from the week. A Friday, we begin with our weightlifting snatch focus, so time lifts the same as what we did on the Tuesday with the cleans. So lifts frequently, same percentage, good volume. And this is where we have our volume snatch pulls. We have a good chunk of sets on our back squats as well at a higher percentage, low reps format. So we're really working in the strength portion here. So this is your second dedicated back squat session within the week. Again, focus, whole cycle, get strong. Second session dedicated to the ring muscle up focus. You have 2 pathways here. One, if you've got, good, decent ring muscle ups, you've got a pathway for a shivers, what's the word that I'm missing here? A pathway for volume, and if you don't quite have them, you've got a lesser pathway for more skill type focus under less fatigue. And we're going to finish the day out there with mixed modal intervals. Remember, mixed modal intervals, so you might not know what that means. We'll take a workout, for example. Mixed modal interval, 8 sets, 10 power snatches, 43 kilo male, 30 for ladies, 12 toes to bar, 14 calories row, rest 1 minute. Weightlifting, gymnastics, monostructural. Goal, unbroken smooth, 8 out of 10, 8 RPE row for repeatability. Our final training day of the week, either you're calling it a Saturday or day 6, accommodating resistance deadlifts. It segues our lead into our block cleans with our 6 inches off the floor. So much the same as our snatches, 6 inches off the floor. Barbell conditioning, our cardio is on this day, and you're going through a whole different plethora each week to week with different barbell movements, different rep schemes, but it's all about the barbell conditioning. Our Metcon on this day, we have a mid-time domain, so anywhere probably between 8 to 12 minutes, and the rep schemes are generally lower in focus, but a more dominant focus on transitions. Finally, you have an optional second session on a Saturday with 1 to 3 parts where you can do one or all of them. One dedicated to skill, one is dedicated to strength, one is dedicated to engine, and basically you can choose your weakness out of those things, and or if you like the looks of all of them, you have enough capacity, you want to do them, get into all of them. That is an overview of the upcoming Hulk Week cycle, October 6th to November 30, and then we'll have a cycle that leads us out for the end of the year. I think it's pretty cool to sign off on that. The new timeline of the CrossFit Games scale has now been added to 2026, and that is exciting. We have many old things that are coming up, like the quarterfinals, semifinals with the teams involved. What's new? The age group divisions going to semifinals. It's going to be really cool. And then obviously the CrossFit Games. So really exciting. Hulk training cycle. You want to get better at CrossFit? This is all you need, man. Come join us.